A lot of times when we talk about boundaries, we are talking about very clear boundaries, right? Boundary conversation where you sit down and you say, here's my yes or no on this thing, right? Or usually it's here's my no on this one particular thing. And if it doesn't go the way I need it to go, then here's the consequence. Here's what I'm planning to do to honor my boundary. But some boundaries are a little more subtle than that. And those are the ones I want to talk about today. I'm Stacy Rocklein, and it's my mission to eradicate loneliness. And one of the ways we can do that is to think of our relationships as moldable. And we can be the guide of those. So we don't have to just be like, oh, I don't feel good about this, so I'm going to throw this relationship away, right? Because then we eliminate relationships and more loneliness. And so in the partnerships we want to be in, that we're saying yes to, but have moments inside them where we don't feel great, what can we do instead of walk away? This is when you do a subtle boundary. And so what you think about is, let's just say you have this, you have this person in your life and you think, okay, yes, I want to be in a relationship with them, but dang, sometimes I walk away feeling pretty icky or down about myself or negative or like the energy has been sucked out of me. What can I do? And I want you to think about this relationship in kind of a black and white way. And I know there's a lot of gray in the world and that's like a very simplistic way to approach something, but for the purposes of what we're going to do, it will be helpful. Think about all the experiences that you have with them when you feel great. And then all the experiences that you have with them where you feel not so great. What's the environment that you're in? Where are you? Who else is there? Is this phone, text, or online, in person? What is the topic? What is the activity you're doing? Really think about all the factors that go into what feels great when you're with that person and all of the factors that go into what feels not so great when you're with them. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use subtle boundaries like the bumpers on a bowling alley to guide this relationship. And you simply start making plans with this person that position you in the best possible situation. And you say no to the things that position you in the worst situations. Like maybe this person is amazing in a group, but they're not so great in one-on-one, or vice versa. You love them in one-on-one, but when you're in a group, you're like, ah. So that guides you what to say yes to, what to say no to. Maybe there are certain topics that you need to steer around or steer into, right? Like you love talking about this one, like travel with them. That's like the funnest thing to talk about. But then when you go into your different politics, then it gets icky. So again, you're guiding and you're positioning yourselves so that you're talking about the things that are amazing and you're avoiding the things that make you feel bad. Just think about that relationship in these terms. It's what can you say more yes of and what can you say more no to? And you can use the yes and trick where they're like, hey, do you want to go do this thing? And you're like, God, every time we do that thing, terrible things happen. So you go, I totally want to hang out with you. Yes, and can we do this instead? So you're the guide, keeping this relationship in healthy, loving, life-giving, positive, wonderful territory and steering away from the places that are not good for you. And I'm not at all saying that there aren't moments when you're going to have hard conversations or that you need to talk about troubles or challenges that you have. That's just normal in relationships. You're not always going to feel like really great. To listen to someone tell you about how they're struggling or tell you about something that you've done that's upset them, like those are not easy moments, but they're necessary. I'm talking about more like the chronic, long-term, avoidable things, the patterns that you see, where over and over and over, every time her ex-boyfriend comes up in conversation, it goes like this, over and over and over and over. It's not a one-time, productive, important, intimate conversation. So this is your task today. Just take one person that you have mixed reviews about. Sometimes you feel great, sometimes you feel not so great. Think about the experiences that you have with them in two separate buckets. The this feels awesome and the this feels terrible. And I want you to start to, next time you engage with them, guide into the positive experiences and away from the negative ones, and watch as, just with some little subtle maneuvering, you can take this relationship that was like sometimes good, sometimes yes, and turn it into a often yes. Turn it into even more great experiences. And that way, all of those meh relationships, or relationships you know could go deeper or be better or more positive, you're pulling more and more of them in. And that is how we eradicate loneliness. Just one relationship at a time. Okay? I hope that works for you. It's a subtle boundary, but it is a boundary. And if boundaries are something that you struggle with, then you can pick up the Boundary Blueprint to help you out a little bit with that, so that you can have all of these amazing relationships and feel like you can be your authentic, real self in safe, healthy environments. Okay, see you next time.